is being a member of parliament and serving your constituents full-time under service, or just an aside, part-time, a lucrative opportunity to 1. Increase celebrity status, 2. Increase your public profile, 3. Increase your income, 4. Meet influential contacts, 5. Create opportunities for investments, 6. Get access to donations, 7. Increase your personal wealth, or possibly all of the above. There is no other occupation that is so open to abuse of the hours actually spent working, and yet paid out of the public purse, also creating massive opportunities to represent outside interests, wanting access to the information and decision-making process of government, potentially even in conflict with their constituents' interests. An MP can put in as many hours as he wishes into the job as long as he makes key votes for his political masters. A lot of attention and outrage is directed on how much they earn in their extra jobs, rightly so, but little attention is given to how their MP role is being relegated to a very lucrative part-time job, bringing in £81,932 per year. While the following are superficially perfect material for politicians, it is hard to see how constituents or the country in general would not benefit or be disadvantaged if any of the following politicians were replaced with someone who could devote all their time to solely representing their constituents. The corruption in Parliament is not the fact that the following MPs are earning money on an industrial scale, as this is currently perfectly legal and apparently politically acceptable. The corruption is the fact that cheating your constituents of the representation they deserve, voted for, and are paying for, by lining your own pocket at their expense, is still legal in the 21st century. What other employer would allow their employees carte blanche with the hours they work, who they work for, if they work at all, if they represent their constituents' wishes and treating their job as, at most, part-time? It should be illegal for MPs to be employed by anyone else as, not only their time, but their loyalty should never be put in question. As you can see from the following examples of a selection of the worst offenders, to say that restricting MPs' alternative employment options will cut off a valuable source of knowledge, is a nonsense. What it does is attract people who are interested in lining their own pockets, not serving the public, and potentially corrupt MPs who initially had good intentions. It is also a nonsense to say it should be left to the public. They are voting largely for party policies, rarely individuals. If you really want the public to decide on MPs' second jobs, have a referendum, but we all know what the result of that would be, so it won't happen, but something has to happen as the reputation of MPs is at an all-time low. It's also worth remembering that the payoff from these outside interests don't stop after the MP leaves office, but that is for another time. Nadam Zahawi was born on the 2nd of June 1967 in Baghdad, to Iraqi Kurdish parents. At the age of 9 in 1976, he and his family fled to the UK from Iraq. After university he had a short spell in the private sector, before becoming a career politician and subsequently becoming one of the wealthiest members of the UK Parliament, with interests in the oil, property and polling industries. An undertaking that he would drop all outside interests, should he be made a Minister of State, basically an acknowledgement that his outside interests are a problem when working for the PM, but not for representing his constituents, is a good illustration of his mindset. Ed Davey was born in Mansfield, Nottinghamshire on Christmas Day 1965 and went on to get a degree in philosophy, politics and economics. A professional politician straight from university, he was heavily involved in forming the Liberal Democrat economic policies. Currently has at least 2 jobs, in addition to his parliamentary role as MP. Unlike the other opposition leader, he has not felt it necessary to give up his outside interests when appointed party leader. Continuing with a variety of outside interests which match his £81,932 MP's salary. Richard Fuller was educated at Hazeldean School and Bedford Modern School, followed by University College, Oxford, 1981–84, where he studied politics, philosophy and economics, later attending Harvard Business School. Currently Richard Fuller has at least 4 jobs, some of them being very controversial. with his salary from these jobs dwarfing his £81,932 MP salary. With a skill set that could be useful, if directed to public service, his focus unfortunately is not on serving his constituents. It would be cheaper, and more productive, to employ him as a consultant, if his skill set was needed, rather than deprive his constituents of representation. Sir John Allen Redwood, born the 15th of June 1951 in Dover. He has been an MP from 1987. In 2021, Sir John Allen Redwood was in the top 10 MPs who have earned the most from outside work, which is really nice for him, but not so good for his constituents. Sir Geoffrey Cox, born in Wroughton, Wiltshire on the 30th of April 1960, currently a barrister serving as a Member of Parliament for Dorridge and West Devon since the 2005 general election. It is estimated that he has accrued at least £6 million from second jobs while a parliamentarian, regularly skipping his parliamentary duties to work privately. Angela Rayner, the Labour deputy leader, said Cox was taking the mick and called it a test of leadership for the Prime Minister. She added the Prime Minister is letting him get away with it. Again, a skill set that could be useful, unfortunately totally misdirected. His constituents need representation as a matter of urgency. Sir Keir Rodney Starmer was born in Southwark, London, on the 2nd of September 1962. He grew up in the small town of Oxted in Surrey, becoming a barrister in 1987. An advocate of banning second jobs for MPs, it is estimated that he has earned £100,000 since becoming an MP, though he claims that since becoming the party leader he works solely as an MP. This is disputed in some quarters. It is sad, but while legal, temptation and individual circumstances will attract more MPs along this route. Greed and a sense of entitlement, unfortunately, are part of the human condition, but after COVID the days of one set of rules for Westminster and another set for everyone else is in the past. We need MPs to perform the service they were elected for, and a regulation committee formed to approve any extra work they would like to take on, ensuring it does not interfere with their duties. Protecting democracy in the UK from corruption and returning the trust from the public in our MPs needs to be the top priority.